Hello, I'm Rob Phillips, and welcome to my channel. You know, when we think about tension, most folks tend to think of it as being something that exists purely in our physical body. But the reality is, when we feel tension in our body, there's always a parallel of tension that's going on in our mind at the same time. The good news is, practices like Yin Yoga, where we deeply integrate both body and mind, can give us one of our most powerful tools to unlock this tension at its source, either in the body or the mind, or ideally by using both. Today's sequence, we're going to get deep into that idea and give you some tools to explore it. So in terms of practicality here, for props, you're going to want to have a blanket and a couple of blocks. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please give it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And finally, if you want to go even deeper into some of the themes I explore here, please check out my free course, The Embodied Mindfulness Method. I'm going to put a link for that down in the description. For now, though, let's go ahead and get started here, and we're going to start on our back today. So you can clear out pretty much everything. Find your way flat onto the floor. Spread yourself out. Take up some space. Really, any position that's comfortable for you here is totally fine with me. If you need to use props to set this up for yourself, you can. If you want to just lay in like a minimalist shavasana like I am, you certainly can. But either way, close your eyes. And begin to relax here. Begin to drop in here. And so before we can work with tension, before we can really work with anything, we need to start by noticing. We need to start by tuning in. You need to feel the body as it is right now. We need to notice and observe anything arising in our mind right now. It's only by honestly noticing that we'll be able to let go of these things, that we'll be able to release them. And just to really jumpstart this process, we're going to use our breath here. We're going to take 3 rounds of breath where we first inhale through our nose and then open up our mouths to exhale, just because this is such a nice way to kind of let go in a general sense. So start here. Take a nice deep inhale breath through your nose. Open up your mouth and exhale to let that out. Let's do that again. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Open up the mouth, exhale, and let that out. One last time here. Take that deep inhale through your nose. Open up your mouth, exhale, and let that go. What has released just from that simple practice here? As you tune into the body, scan through and ask, is there any physical tension that you could let go of? Can you feel even more heavy, even more grounded and supported by the floor? Can you start to get the sense here that by relaxing the body, the mind will naturally feel more calm? It becomes easier to be more still here. But also, like I said in the introduction, if we can relax in the mind, if we can release that mental resistance, the body will relax more too. So let yourself settle into this, drop into it just a bit more, and start to feel that initial sense of letting go, of dropping in. Again, really harnessing this connection between body and mind so that we can let go of our tension in a complete way. Let's again take a gentle inhale breath through our nose. And open up our mouth to exhale and let that out. Now here, we're going to remain on our back, but if you used any significant amount of props, you're going to want to get those out of the way, and you can walk your legs in here. So the knees are bent. And from here, you're going to pick up the hips. And actually, sorry, pick up the hips. We're setting up for banana pose. I should clarify that. So to come into your banana pose, you're going to pick up the hips and move them over to the left-hand side, and then slowly lower them down. With the hips on the floor now, you're going to extend the legs long and move them over to the right. As you move to the right, you'll start to feel a side bend. That's the main target line for this pose. You can consider crossing your left ankle over the top and shimmying your shoulders as well to the right. Finally, taking your arms up and overhead to complete the side bend, which, when you're done, will have you looking a little bit like a banana. That's where the pose gets its name from, of course. As we start the physical practice, my usual reminder here that while not every pose should be easy, no pose should be sharp or aggressive, no pose should feel overly intense in terms of its sensation. If you feel anything at all in the body that gives you pause, you're going to want to listen to that, and you're going to back out, adjust, even skip the pose. Never put the body under too much pressure. Never risk harming yourself within this practice. As you find an edge that works for you, though, let the body relax and let it settle. You want to feel the pose affecting things so that you're opening up, so that you're releasing on that physical level. Feel a sense of space open up on the left half of the body here, little by little. And just knowing that there might still be some restlessness in the mind, there might still be some resistance in the mind, and that's fine. We're not trying to squash these things. We're not trying to push them away. We're working with them patiently and gradually over time. So as you tune in here, ask yourself the question, which is, what could you let go of? What are you holding on to that is not actually serving you? And little by little, keep letting all of that fall away here. For now, we'll take one more complete breath like we are. Let's gradually unwind the arms, undo the legs. You'll just shift until you're resting like in the center of your back. And do, of course, feel that resonance, feel that afterglow. Take a few breaths to experience that, and just notice, of course, we start with the body here. We work with the physical. But can you feel the sense that as the body relaxes, the mind naturally feels more calm too? The mind can gradually drop deeper and deeper from this physical work. From here, of course, we'll set up the second side. So let's begin to walk our legs in. Knees will be bent. Lift up into the hips and scoot them over to the right-hand side and just lower them down. From here, start to extend the legs long and move them to the left. We're coming into banana shape, so you're creating a side bend. You're going to feel this on the outside edge of the body one way or another. The right ankle could consider crossing over, and we could move the shoulders as well, kind of completing the picture here, till the arms are reaching up and overhead, and you're in this nice, deep side bend for yourself. As with every pose, dial this in so that it's noticeable, but in no way aggressive, in no way intense. especially on our back like this, should feel possible to really relax completely, to really settle completely here. So please let yourself do that. Notice what you feel here. Again, all of these practices are grounded with the idea of being aware of our experience by tuning in to what's here. But then, really, beyond just that, asking ourselves this more fundamental question of what could it be possible to let go of here? What might you be holding on to that actually is not necessary here? In both the body and the mind, how does it feel to release? How does it feel to let go and to instead settle into a natural sense of calm with things as they already are for you? And so here, let's take a final complete breath, just like we are. Slowly, as you exhale, release the arms, release the legs, undo your cross, and settle again, just in a neutral position here on your back. Feel the wave of calm. Often when we're in the pose, it's a little more challenging, but then as we come out, we get that deeper sense of release. We get that deeper sense of calm here. All of this is feeding back on itself. All of this is truly a holistic practice. Let's take a deep inhale breath through our nose. Open up the mouth, exhale, and let that all out. From here, we're going to flip ourselves over. We're going to end up on our belly. So the way I'm oriented, I'm just going to roll over in place. Of course, if you feel like you need to reorient yourself more, especially if you need to see the screen, obviously do what you need to do. But find your way here onto the floor and just kind of rest. Take a few moments, take a few breaths. Feel here where you're at. And from here, we'll set ourselves up into a Sphinx pose. So you're going to rise up onto the forearms. You're going to lift here into your chest. And the intention is to feel a mild back bend, so a little bit of sensation in the spine. Depending on how you'd like to fine-tune this, you could have the arms separate and the shoulders relaxed. You can consider taking the arms closer, feeling more lift in the chest if you'd like, but one way or another here, dial this in so that, again, you notice the pose. You can tell it's doing work, but none of what you notice here is too much. Nothing at all feels too intense. Start with an honest connection with the present. Notice what you feel, especially in the body. But then, beyond just noticing, can you ask yourself what it might be possible to let go of? And mostly so far, I've been talking about relaxing the body, right? Releasing that physical tension. But this works just as well in the mind. So if you notice that you've been lost in your thoughts or stuck on something, could you ask yourself to instead let that something go? If you feel resistance, if you feel restlessness here, could you ask yourself again to just let that go? The more we let go, the more we release, the more we notice the natural sense of calm and clarity beneath all of it. And that sense of clarity is actually our more natural state, and we just use practices like these to help uncover that. Take a final complete breath like you are. Slowly, as you exhale, release the arms, lower the chest down, and settle all the way on the floor here, and take a few moments. Take a few deeper breaths to feel that unwinding, to feel that decompression for yourself. To help release the back, use your hands and gently press the hips back to the heels. Rounding the spine, finding a child's pose, and releasing, decompressing there for a few moments. Again, tuning in and feeling the space, feeling this release of tension in both the body and the mind. From here, we can slowly begin to sit ourselves up, and we're actually going to return onto our back. We're actually on our back for most of the sequence, I guess. We're going to lie down, and you can have your knees bent, kind of plant the feet onto the floor. Take a moment and just kind of sway the hips, sway the knees a bit side to side. Now, from here, we're going to set up into a figure four shape. You're going to keep your right foot on the floor and cross your left ankle over the right knee. You'll look a little something like this. Now, depending on your body here, you might even just stay like this. You might not need to go any further. If you'd like to, though, a few options. So you could elevate that foot on a block. Excuse me. You could elevate that foot onto a block or some other prop. You could even place that foot onto the wall. Or if you're up for it here, you could hug the thigh into the chest using a tiny bit of effort in the arms. For most folks, I think that will probably be fine. That's what I'm going to do here for my demo. Keep the shoulders, the neck, and the back nice and relaxed. Remember, you're not using strong effort. You're really just relaxing the arms. holding the leg in position, and definitely be certain that you don't feel anything weird in the left knee here. And as you tune in here, as you settle, just asking yourself, what could you let go of? What could you release? Not just in the body, but also in our minds. Can you create that positive feedback loop between the two? Take a final complete breath as you are. Slowly, as you exhale, release the leg down here. And now we're going to build from this figure 4 setup. So taking the legs down again, kind of where we started this, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a twist. So take a gentle inhale breath here like you are. Exhale to roll the legs across to the right and to find that twist. The left arm and shoulder could open on the floor. You could turn your head if you'd like, really whatever feels good. But feel that unraveling. Feel that release here. Let go in both the body and the mind of whatever you may be holding on to. Whatever is no longer serving you. Remember to keep anchored in the present, and remember to keep letting go of whatever you may be holding on to. For now, here we'll take just one more complete breath. We'll slowly draw the legs back in and release. We'll take a moment to sway, to shift, and a short pause in the middle. Just kind of let that all balance out, let that all even out for yourself. Setting up, of course, the second side here. Let's cross the right ankle over the left knee. And you could stay down low. You could lift the foot up onto a prop if you'd like, Or joining me here, consider gently drawing that left thigh into the chest, holding anywhere on that leg. With the shoulders nice and soft. Again, we're not pulling. There's not a strong force to this. You're just kind of setting up the basic position. You want to feel the release on the outer hip, but no discomfort in the knee, nothing intense going on in terms of the overall sensations. Relaxing physically and mentally, truly settling here to release the tension. Not just what you're holding on to in the body, but anything you're holding on to in the mind. Could you feel that release? So that we settle more and more into a simple sense of being. Just resting with things as they naturally are for us here. Take a final complete breath as you are. Slowly release that leg down, but again, we're going to keep the cross like we are here. So we're going to maintain this figure four setup, but we're going to use this to come into a twist. So you'll take a gentle inhale here. You can slowly exhale to roll the legs across to the left. You can always micro adjust this or fine tune this to feel just right for your body. But you want to feel that release on the side body, on the waist, on the hips. Allowing the floor to support you and, again, deeply letting go. There's nothing we need to hold on to. There's no place we're trying to get or be. We're just more and more settling into this deeper sense of calm beneath it all. The natural sense of stillness beneath the surface here. Take a final complete breath here as you are. Slowly wind your way back into the midline and release the cross. Take a brief moment here. You can sway, you can shift, just kind of free everything up for yourself. And then spread yourself out onto the floor, and we'll take a brief Shavasana. We'll take a brief neutral pose to let this settle. So just scanning through your body and releasing any remaining sense of effort or resistance, and allowing yourself to be supported by the floor. And for this final little bit, can you feel how we've taken advantage of this mind-body connection? We've really worked to release tension both internally and externally. Let's take one more deep inhale breath through our nose. And open up our mouths to exhale and let everything go. Rest here and let everything balance for the next little bit. So just taking a final few breaths as you are, feeling what is settled, feeling what is rebalanced through that time. Start to invite some movement, start to stir things back up in that general sense. Roll your way over onto your side. Gently press your way up and come into a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. So here in this final seat, tuning in and observing, really feeling the full effects of practice, noticing all the changes you've created. Joining the hands in front of the heart. So again, and as always, my thanks to each of you for sharing your practice. And may our practice bring benefit to all beings. And we bow. So again, thank you so much for joining. And as always, if you have thoughts, questions, or comments, please let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, and if you are not already, you can give this a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to go deeper into Yin Yoga and meditation, really kind of the more refined version of what I offer here, please check out my completely free course, Embodied Mindfulness. There's a link in the description down below.